Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ladies with Tradies, how to stop shit-hitting the fan in love, life, and business. I'm really excited today because I've got three wonderful humans with me in the Zoom podcast studio. We've got the amazing Jason and Jemma Kerr from Kerrbuilt and also their coach, Chane. So we're going to have a great chat today, and our topic is gold digging and money management and how those two work together. So welcome, Jason, Jem. How you doing?
Good, thanks, Kate. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you, Shana?
I'm good, thank you. Excited to be here today.
Excellent. So we'll start off, Jason, Jem, get you to give us a bit of an introduction to yourselves. Tell us about your business, what type it is, number of staff, where you are, all the stuff.
So we're Kerrbuilt, based in Deniliquin, New South Wales, just up on the New South Wales border.
Yep.
We currently have a team of 3 on site, Gem in the office, with new bloke starting in a couple of weeks. We base most of our work on renovations and extensions. Two qualified, including myself and an apprentice at the moment.
Awesome. And Jem, you're in the office how much nowadays?
3 days full-time in the office.
Three paid days a week in the office.
And then whenever I can squeeze in a little bit when the kids aren't annoying me on the Monday and the Friday.
Awesome. Good stuff. And I'm excited to talk about your coming into the business because it's a big part of today's gold digging conversation. So we got you guys on this podcast just to give the listeners a bit of context. We've known you for a little while now. You've been working with Ladies with Tradies for a bit. And what's been amazing to watch is you've, especially in more recent times, just absolutely nailed some huge goals. And so we got you on here because to achieve the goals that you've achieved, it takes a fair bit of lining your ducks up. And so from a money perspective, a confidence perspective, there's lots of stuff that goes into achieving goals the way that you guys have. Let's just start, though, by getting you to tell us a bit about what it is that you have achieved, just particularly in the last 12 months. What are some of the things that you've ticked off on your goals list?
Big thing personally is making time for ourselves and family is the biggest thing we've done.
Yeah.
Giving us the freedom to be ourselves again.
We 12 months ago brought a Caravan in this financial year, which has been fun with family. Haven't used it as much because of our son's not the best sleeper, so I'm sure it will be used for many years in the future.
Yeah, beautiful.
I started on the business, as you heard before, so at the start of this year, paid position in the business, and Jason brought a fancy tool trailer that's nearly as big as our Caravan.
Yeah, it is. It's a monster. What brand is it, Jase? Because I'm sure some of the boys will know.
SMU, custom made in Melbourne, all Australian.
And tell us about it, because it's almost better equipped than the bloody Caravan.
Yeah, it is. It was a 12-month process from the original deposit. Everything about it is custom made. He gives you a base, you build from that. You add, subtract everything and anything you need, want, he'll make it. And just prides itself on being Australian made and owned and operated, which is, nice.
So it's got a few things like, because I know you've got, is it a microwave or what have you got in there?
I've got, so it runs a full independent suspension system.
Yeah.
It's got better suspension in that trailer than my ute has in it.
Yeah. Wow.
Microwave, full off-road hitch connections. It weighs just under 2 ton empty, which is huge. It's got fully custom drawer setups, drop slot slides.
It's beautiful.
I talked him out of putting a coffee machine in it. He didn't need
full remote central locking, GPS tracker.
Central locking on a trailer, yes. Do you know how many arguments Jason and I have about him locking his trailer at night? It's like, mate, anybody could just jump the fence and steal all your shit.
Well, you can hear when it's locked, it says armed very loudly.
Yeah, so it's got a full alarm system on it. And GPS tracker.
It's proper flash, this thing, isn't it? It's full on, and it is sexy as. I love looking at pictures of this thing. It is beautiful. I also adore your Caravan that we were set up in the Caravan park at the Shindig next to each other. I was like, oh, it's so cool to see these guys using one of the things that they've had as a goal for a long time. So many caravanning trips to come, which will be awesome. And Jem, you moving into the business and being in a paid position now, like that's a pretty big thing to have achieved.
It's huge. It's huge. From when we started coaching with you, Kate, and I remember you 4 years ago or so saying, what do you want to do, Jem? And I was like, to be honest, I don't want anything to do with it. Like, I don't want to know anything. I'm not interested. And then I think with Jason's confidence and his knowledge in the business and him working on himself as well made me realise that it is something that I want to help out with, and it's something that will help us as a family get more time that we need together, the flexibility now that we've got the young kids, so I can take school holidays, or if they're sick I'm still working from home, which is really nice. And I'm actually really enjoying it. I love the work.
She likes to know where I am and what I'm doing all the time now, so she's loving that.
She's running the show, really, Jase, let's be honest.
Yeah, as much as I don't like saying it, she's the boss. But,
amazing. I love it.
That's recorded.
Yeah, that is recorded, so
yep, got it in there. We've got it, Jem. It's going to be broadcast all over Australia. So Shana, I'm sure there's more to add here for these guys. What else have you seen as their coach that they've been kicking goals with?
They've been very humble at the moment. So another one is at the beginning of the year, we set some profit goals. I'll get them to share if they want to share the numbers, but they've actually hit the goals consecutively over the past, I think, 3 to 6 months. And not only hit it, but overachieved. So
really?
I've pushed them and said, right, we need to actually look at making the number a little bit bigger, because this is an understatement right now. So really proud of them for achieving that. So you guys want to talk a bit more about it?
Yeah, so we smashed our profit goals for a few months, fourfold.
Wow.
We had a couple of months there where it was right on par with what we set, but
I think there's only been 1 month that it's been just over.
Yeah, just on par.
So we set ourselves that we would want to make a $5,000 profit a month.
Yeah.
So from February, actually from the month that I started full time. So
nice little win there.
Just put that in there. We've been smashing those goals, which has really been really good. And that's given us the opportunity to have the confidence to put another guy on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So is this profit over and above your wages, guys?
Yeah.
Wow. So that's a significant thing, because we can say, we want to do a dollar figure profit or a percentage profit. So you're paying yourselves a wage, which obviously really nicely contributes to your family, but you've got extra money to blow at the same time, which is awesome.
Yeah. And that gives us the opportunity to buy these things like a van and a trailer and put away for a big holiday we plan to do in November.
Come up to Cairns in a couple of weeks. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Amazing. So it's so you've done some pretty cool stuff. So as far as let's just hone in on at Jemma, you leaving your professional career. Like we talked about, yes, you're getting a wage and that you're enjoying it, but what ducks did you line up financially in order for you to be able to achieve that? Like what did you feel like? What were the key items you needed, the two of you, because Jase, this impacted you fairly significantly, this decision as well. What'd you have to do to feel safe to do that?
Well, I think it helped that I was on maternity leave when we we started throwing the idea up about me coming and working in the business. We were already running off one wage. We'd been running off Jason's wage for more than 6 months. So we knew that we could afford for me not to be earning a wage.
Right.
But then going in and doing our finance fund sheet that Josie's done, we could play with figures and see how much it would have
potential.
the profit that we could make by putting me on the amount of time that Jason would get back by not spending that time in the office. And we've noticed with a few like things that, because I'm taking that time to look at invoices that are coming in and all the materials, how much that they are, that we're actually sending the right invoices out. So back to your question, I guess it was just that we were comfortable in the way we were at that stage.
Mm-hmm.
When I first decided to come on, we didn't need the money. So it was like, let's give it a go and see how it fits. I was a bit nervous because I really loved where I worked. And I do miss working in an office.
Yeah.
But it is something that we needed to give it a go. And I'm very glad that we did.
It got me back too. So
more family time.
Family time.
Yeah. Less grumpy Jason.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't coached you guys for a little while, but even I mean, your posture, Jase, you look different. You know, you look different. And Shana, I don't know what comments you would have about these guys as far as the level of confidence in themselves or them as people since Jem's come on board.
It just keeps growing and growing and growing. So they know what they know, and they know there's a bit that they don't know, but they just take everything in their stride and tackle today what they need to, and you just see them blossoming week by week. It's the most beautiful thing to watch.
And what about watching them with their finances and lining that up to help them achieve their goals? What have you seen with that?
Also, again, some growth. I mean, just on Tuesday when we had our accountability session, having a chat with Jem, realigning our goals for the next 180 days, I said, okay, well, what's number one pebble? And Jem immediately said, I want to grow my financial knowledge even more. I want to be able to ask the accountant the right questions, the bookkeeper. So they taking everything on board that's happening in both the legend status sessions as well as in our coaching sessions. And they're asking the questions behind the scenes and growing from there to say, okay, well, this is what we need to know next for the next level of us, which is really good.
Awesome. So lots of, you've had to make a lot of considered choices. You've had to really do some planning. You've looked at your numbers fairly closely, guys. So what, in all of that, what's been the most vital, like what's been the best ingredient to help you go, oh yeah, we can put on the new bloke, or yeah, we can get the trailer, or we can buy the van? What's been the ingredients? People can't hear a pointing finger.
It's been Jem.
Okay.
Jem's been the deciding factor on most of that. Putting her on. Shana's dancing in the background if no one can see that.
Celebration.
It's been Jem. Yeah, she's held us accountable. She's made sure that invoices invoiced on time, paid on time. Deposit and progress invoices are sent when need to be. Ensuring that invoices are paid too, that everything's flagged. This is when it's got to be. It's all dated. It's all so no one's blowing out. We're not pilfering funds from one spot to pay the next. And
I also think like having our beautiful coaches, Shana and Josie and yourself, Kate, like we have been very lucky that we can bounce ideas like off you. If we've got an issue or we've got something that we're just not sure about, it's something that we can bring up in our accountability call or with the group session, and then we get confidence from that as well, that other people have been through it or that we are on the right track. Also knowing our numbers with having the spreadsheet that Josie's done up, we've never known our numbers as much, and I'm now every week looking at like our profit and loss and making sure that we're going in the right way for the month. so that we can, we have the confidence to be like, okay, let's go out and buy this thing, or let's book a holiday, or let's put another guy on and see how we go there. So
amazing. So you've really got the control back through knowing your numbers, and that's really your gig by the sounds of it, Jem.
Yeah, 100%. I think when we first started, we were just winging it, like completely had no idea, just was hoping to have the money there. But by actually educating ourselves and getting that knowledge of what actually the money means, has really made a big difference.
Yeah. And so it's given you that confidence to make the decisions to buy the fun things and reinvest in your business with this new bloke coming on, which it's a massive decision for people to make, because it's so emotional. Usually the blokes, tradies, tend to go, oh, I'm so busy, I need someone, and then you put them on and it's like, oh, we can't afford to pay their wages, what's going on? You're not making those emotional decisions by the sounds of it.
And as like Jason a couple of years ago was like, I'm all me, I'm not putting anyone on, and then all of a sudden has gone from the start of last year, 2 guys, and now putting on a third one in the space of 18 months, which has been amazing. So
unreal, pretty exciting to see. Anything you want to add in there, Shana, about them as far as the what you've seen with them in their accountability calls and how they're managing their finances?
So the accountability calls are really, really interesting. No call is the same. But it's heaps of fun. So they just keep on track. They come to the session, even if it's the night before, where Jim is poking Jase at the side, hey, do your homework, because Shana's coming in. Everything's always done on time, and they almost working alongside with me, making sure that we're completing all the tasks that we need to get them on track. So
beautiful. Really up the ante on the planning and the ticking off the goals. So let's talk a little bit more about I want to know more about the family side of it, because you mentioned, Jase, at the start, that the freedom that you've got of time with the family and for yourself. So you've got the caravan. Why has that been important? Why is this family time all of a sudden become such a priority? Like what's been the catalyst for that?
It's not so much the caravans anything to do. It's more the freedom to be around the kids and Jem, and not worrying what's around the corner in the business. Knowing that the business is taken care of during the week with Jem in business gives me the freedom and the zero stress of an afternoon. Setting my hours was the biggest thing, and sticking to those hours. I don't work weekends anymore. I haven't for over 2 years now.
Yeah.
Until Jem turns into a slave driver and wants something done around the house.
Yeah, but that's I guess our kids are only going to be young for so long. Like, Maggie's going to primary school next year. It's crazy. Like, I know, right?
Mags has been growing up on the screen with us. She's a little legend. I love her to bits. She's an absolute champ.
Mags comes in every Tuesday morning at about 6:30 when we start the Level Up Tradie.
She'll be your future coach for sure.
Yeah.
She'll run the world.
Yeah. But it's not, and also making time for myself to clear my head. I golf Saturdays. Jem rolls her eyes every time I say I'm golfing. But it gives me time to get myself back, I guess, and
be more present, I guess, and not so worked up
and out of it and work related.
So would you say, has your stress levels have reduced in the last couple of years? Like how much, Jase?
Near non-existent at the moment. Stress is just sort of out the window at the moment. It's been everything. There's always stress involved in business, and if you're not stressing, there's probably something going wrong. But
it hasn't always been
it hasn't been
for you
the
though,
same.
because you've had a few low points.
Yeah. Kate was the big governing factor on me and the mental health side of it. Noticing how I changed so much over a space of a month and saying, go get help, which is a big thing.
Yeah.
Went and seeked help, and still using those techniques today. If anything ever arises, the main stress and the main anxious and angriness comes from the children these days instead of business. Just time, just making.
And I think when you need to take that time out, like you're like, oh, you've had a shit day and you're like, okay, I'm just going to go down to the driving range and hit a few balls. And then you're like, all right, no worries. You come back and you're
a different person.
I
don't know why I play golf, because it's the most frustrating game, but yeah.
It works for you, Jase.
I know why he plays golf.
Because I only ever
You know why? Why does he play golf, Jem?
Because he's competitive, but he likes to be by himself.
And I'm only competing against myself.
And it's a good way to be.
Yeah.
Shayna, you got a question?
No, I'm all good. But I think like what we've seen over the course of this call is a lot of things from Jem and Jase, and that's what's probably made them the most successful in their coaching journey. So looking at them, you'll see a lot of banter going back and forth between the two, and that's them in their peak and their element. I remember the very first coaching session, I was like, whoa, because I've never had couples go off at each other like that in my life. And I was like, is this normal? And they're like, don't worry, if we're not doing this, it means there's something wrong. And I'm like, okay. And you grow to know them as that's them and their beautiful relationship. And when it's not like that, like we had a session on Tuesday where Jason and Jem were quite crook and they weren't bickering at each other, and I was like, where's my Jason and Jem?
Boring.
But throughout the whole process, they open, honest and vulnerable every step of the way. And the one thing about them is they share a common goal. They have different views on how to get there. And that's the beauty of the coaching, where we get both views and find a common goal, a common ground on how to get there. And once we got that, they just power through, and it's the most beautiful thing to watch, because you see these two conflicting sides and they're butting heads, and then you help them get the common ground and they smooth sailing away. So that's the one thing that out of all of this, when you hear a lot of the success, but it's not always smooth sailing. But when they go, they power through. So I just love it.
It's so good, and that's so true. When you don't have to have the same view on how to get there for anything in business. So to hear that when our couples just work through that, and we often have a bit of a giggle, don't we, saying that we're marriage counsellors and mediators and all those things, and that's the fun part of our job. Well, I think it's fun anyway. I love a good spat on screen. They're my favourites. I mean, you just have to go, everybody, I'm putting my hands up here, look at me, stop talking to each other.
They already know when the hand goes up, I'm like, Jem, quiet.
Yes.
Jase, talk. And the hands sort of point in the different directions. So some days there's laughing, some days there's tears, but it's all part of getting the breakthroughs that you need to move them forward.
It's the push.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's
safe space too, I guess, the safe space to be able to be vulnerable on our calls. And we love our little bickering but Shane has worked us out that she knows when to let us go and then when to pull us back up and stop us and let each other, like, let one or the other speak.
I've always said the coaches are the wives I listen to.
You do too, Jase. It always makes me laugh. The coaches are the wives that we listen to, and you go, oh, wish it wasn't that way, but okay, we'll go with that. That's fine. So guys, what have you got? And Shayna's got a question later on too. But what advice have you guys got for people who aren't sure where to start? Like, what was the most helpful thing you implemented to get you to this sort of goal digging and achieving space?
Ladies with tradies.
I know you don't want to hear.
You probably don't want to hear that, but it was because we were never people to write down our goals and have our goals sitting in front of us for us to see.
Jason was never anyone to write down anything. So
yeah, I still use pen and paper.
Or in your head. But I think like having you guys not only as coaches, but the like tools that you bring in, like all the forms you have and all the like templates and your new online thing that you've got going. I'm sorry.
The toolbox, yeah.
The toolbox with all the resources in there. That's really, really helped. I go in there a lot and have a look just to see if I can implement something.
But it was just going back to that. It's just setting those goals.
Yeah.
And setting out the steps that we needed to take to get to those final goals was what we needed. It gave us the direction and the drive to know where we needed to be and what we needed to do to get to that point.
And to realise that we can have a big goal, but to break it down. So it's like you're achieving something more often than just waiting for this big goal to happen and then getting kind of disappointed that you're not reaching it fast enough. And so just to step it down and be like, okay, we're going to hit the $5,000 a month, and then we're going to buy the tool trailer and those things, and then we can work up to big goals.
Amazing. Oh, so good. Love it. Love it. Any thoughts, Shayna? Any additions?
One addition there is what these guys do very, very well is they take every opportunity that's presented on their plate, no matter how scary it is. So Ryan, their new qualified who's joining them, whilst they had all the numbers at the back of the ranch, there were some emotions busy happening in the background. And they just said, right, we can do it logically, emotionally, we're a bit nervous, but we're doing it anyway. And they jumped on it. We presented them with this podcast opportunity. Jem's not one for public speaking. And she was like, oh, okay, cool. Yes, let's do it. And I'm shitting my pants in the background. So, and that's what I've seen every step of the way in their coaching is, whilst it might be the unknown or some scary waters for them, when it's a good opportunity, they take it on and figure it out with us as we go along.
Amazing.
So I've got one question for you guys.
Yeah.
What is ahead for you guys in Kerrbuilt? What's next? The next goal you're going to push or smash through?
Probably in the next 6 months, we've got two goals. We're going to take a month off in November. We've got a couple of weddings, so we're going to do a trip in the Caravan. So yeah,
Jem's shitting herself because of the Albie.
Yeah, but that's okay. We'll deal.
Albie's their little baby boy. He's the cutest little man.
He's so cute, but
he's not a baby anymore. I can't believe it.
He's cute when he's asleep at the moment.
When he actually sleeps. So we're going to we'll take 4 weeks off then, and then so we'll work on getting the money saved up for that, and then we've been renovating our house for God knows how long, too long, and I've given Jase the goal that we need to have the inside done in the next 6 months, because I want the opportunity to buy another house soon, so I want this house to be ready for sale, which is exciting. Wow.
It is exciting. Congratulations. There's some big ones, Shayna, that you'll be cracking the whip on them for. So this, you're sort of moving into this lifestyle and wealth creation space, guys, by the sound of it, to be moving from one house, capitalise on the equity that you've created through investing in the renovating over time, and then to go on to the next thing, and that will help you generate more wealth, and also a month off is huge. Like, I don't know many business owners who have or do take that amount of time off. So
Yeah, and I guess we didn't realise that it could be like
It could happen.
And it could be a goal, like that's something that is actually a goal. Like I think sometimes when you talk about goal setting, you think huge, like, you know, I'm going to buy a house or I'm going to, you know, do those things. But taking 4 weeks off out of the business is quite big, and it is something that we can work towards and, you know, set little things to achieve. So
it's also come down to trusting our employees. Trusting our employees that knowing it's still going to get done, even if the boss isn't there.
Yeah, it's a big one. I'm away for 2 months at the moment. I'm in the same boat, guys. I've got all the feels for you. Lucky for me, my team's brilliant, just like I'm sure yours is. That it does. It's certainly one of those things that you got to get a lot of ducks lined up from a goals perspective, not just financially, but from a business systems perspective. So we know how much you love a good system, Jase. You know, how many years do we get you to use a whiteboard for before? You know, before Jem came in, your whiteboard and your pen and paper. Until Jem's come in and got it all happening in Trello and all sorts of fantastic systems. So that's an amazing.
Revisiting Trello now. So trying to get Trello back up and running.
Yeah.
So,
amazing. That'll work well for you if you're away for 4 weeks to communicate with everybody too.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So it's been, I know I obviously talked to you guys a bit, but it's been great to just spend a bit of extra time and hear how much you're achieving and the incredible work that you've been doing with Chane. So I do want to say a massive congrats to you. And Chane, any last little things you want to add about your beautiful clients, Jem and Jase, before we say see you later?
I think just keep on keeping on, and just the amazing, they know where they want to be and taking every single step. You know, looking at the big picture and just looking at the first step is what's absolutely fantastic about them. So keep doing that, guys, and you'll be able to smash those goals, get that month off, and have the house fully renovated for the next project. So very excited and looking forward to smashing those goals with you.
And Chane is very surprised we didn't end up in an argument on this call. So
quite disappointed, Jase.
Very tame.
We've been very civilized.
Oh, they are very civilized until we stop the recording. So well done, guys. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I know how many people you'll inspire through this money management and gold digging chat. There's loads of people out there who will go, oh, I could add that as a goal for myself too. You know, I want to move into the business and draw a wage if you're the lady behind the tradie. Maybe that they want to take time off and they want to set that goal, buy the beautiful, big, ridiculously expensive trailer or a caravan, or put a new staff member on. Like, guys, like even just going through all of that, it is sensational to hear. So love your work. And Shane's got one last thing.
So, and just to talk about Jem and Jase a bit more from the money management and gold digging side of things, Kate, as we wrap up, is that Jem and Jase don't have, you know, the full financial knowledge that everyone dreams to have, but with what they have, they make it work. So they're going along the way, getting all the understanding that they need, taking one step at a time. So really credit to you guys, because there's lots of people out there who have been in your situation or who are in your situation thinking that they need to know all these numbers, but you guys are literally just working with the numbers that you need, that you know are trouble areas in your business, and then working on to the next one. So really well done to you guys.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Numbers are power.
Yeah, one thing with what Chane said, it's also implementing the right people in those positions. So having our bookkeeper and our accountant to know those numbers that we don't know, to help us know sort of what we know.
Yeah. Wow. That's super powerful. And it's about recruiting the people into your world to help you with the areas that you might need a bit of a leg up on. So that's a really good point, Jase.
Bookkeeper is a great investment for anyone, because it gives Jem time to work on the other things instead of trying to reconcile and weigh wages.
And something that I'm not interested in really doing. Yeah.
High level strategy for Gems, you know, she's working on the high level stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, thanks for that last little input, guys. That's beautiful. So congratulations again. Can't wait for everybody to hear this. Want to hear the feedback from everybody. We'll be sharing it. And if you've listened to this and you think this can help somebody else, make sure you give it a share. Thanks, Jason, Jem. Thanks, Shana. It's been awesome to hang out, and we'll catch up real soon. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Kate. Cheers.
Opportunity.